What up? T-Bob here.
And Jake as well.
And look at you. You done stumbled upon little OTB Saints, where we bring you all the latest black and gold coverage.
Who are the Saints going to draft? Who's going to be their quarterback? What does the salary cap look like? All that information and more.
Hope you enjoy it. Like, subscribe. Got a question for the room, boys. A little good food for thought. The trip kind of got me thinking about this morning, which is just how good can Rasheed Shaheed be? And why I say this is, obviously on Sunday, he had the fumble. I don't really care about the fumble. To me, the fumble was more about a pretty incredible defensive play being made than it was Shaheed, like, just, screwing it up. He ends the game with 216 all-purpose yards. The game's only touchdown. And the two biggest plays of the day, right? I mean, the touchdown and then the 3rd and 6th bomb. And why I started to think about his ceiling is, okay, we think back, and last year, he missed most of the year recovering from a torn ACL, right? And then he plays like the last 6 games. He does really well, actually. Plays a ton in those 6 games. Then you're like, okay, well, here we go, year 2. He misses the entire offseason. Mm-hmm. He's basically out all of OTAs. He's out all of camp. And so here you have a cat that was already an undrafted free agent, right? So not a ton of people think he's going to be very good anyway. He's never gotten a healthy offseason at all to really get ready for the NFL, but he still comes out here in week 1 and puts up the most total yards of any New Orleans Saints since Alvin Kamara in 2017, including making these huge plays. Like, what happens if Rasheed Shaheed could just stay healthy for a little bit? Like, that ceiling has to be, like, way higher than I've ever given it credence to after watching him on Sunday.
Yeah, and we talked about him all offseason, hoping that he could find a way to get healthy. We talked about right at the end of last year, they did a redraft on ESPN.com, and he was like 46th overall in that draft,
Makes
going
sense.
from undrafted free agent, playing 6 games to, executives think you could be a top 40 type pick in the NFL draft. And this is somebody at Weber State. He had like 5,500 all-purpose yards in his career. I mean, he was a really good college player, but like you said, it kind of came in injured, came in hurt. And if he can stay healthy, like, he has got some unbelievable juice to him. And, yeah, the fumble, like, that's a hell of a play by a really good player. I mean, you knock it out, you recover it there, you stay in bounds somehow, some way. But this is the type of player that can really unlock your offense, because you love what you saw from Mike Thomas, 50-plus plays, was very efficient. Obviously, Olave had another big day.
Yeah.
And if you can have a player like this where you can be creative with, he can certainly, like, when we say take the top off the defense, that doesn't only apply to when you're getting the ball, right? Think about this. And I try to explain this to the teams that I coach. Like, when I call a play and it's got 2 go routes with something coming underneath it, you're not getting the ball in the go route, but you're affecting the play as much as anybody out there. So when you have a player like that can terrify any kind of DB, because what are they doing? Well, he's faster than me. I got to get out of here. Mm-hmm. Well, it opens up everything underneath for Michael Thomas. Chris Olave can be either one of those equations, Jawan Johnson. So, like, just having him on the field is going to affect the defense.
So that is some of the good. The bad would be, our fear for this game. The potential Achilles heel that you thought the New Orleans Saints maybe have would be that offensive line.
Aaron Rodgers.
It was on purpose.
Too soon.
But the potential Achilles, we still don't know on Aaron. It's the same deal. We said the limiting factor could maybe be the offensive line. And unfortunately, one game would leave more than a little to be desired. I mean, it was awful. Nick Underhill has it charted as Derek Carr being pressured on half of his dropbacks.
Right.
So a coin flip every single time Derek Carr went to throw the ball as to whether or not he was going to be pressured. Sacked 4 times. Hit 8 times. Actually, within that context, a final stat line at 23 of 33 for 305 and touchdown and pick is actually not that bad, right? It's better than maybe it would read just off the rip. Ryan Ramchick's the only one that basically played well. Trevor Penning giving up 7 pressures alone. So, love what you saw to the weapons. Love what you saw to Derek Carr. We'll get to the defense in a second. But still, massive question marks heading into week 2 for the offensive line.
There's no doubt about it. I mean, when you start talking about numbers like you're talking about, you're lucky you have a veteran quarterback that knows how to get the ball out of his hands fast. because if you would have had a young quarterback or rookie quarterback, you're taking probably 4 more sacks than you actually had in the game. Now, how can you affect it? How can you fix it? Oof, I hate keeping people in to try to fix it. T-Bob and I and Flynn have talked about that for years. Don't just start adding people to the mix to try to fix it and have extra blockers in there. You just got to now find ways to get guys out on routes that are a little bit quicker. You can help. I'm okay with you helping.
Yes.
Like, hey, back before you get out, help Penning. Hey, Foster, before you get out, give a little hand presence to Trevor Penning right now. But
and they did more of that in the second half. And that's my problem with the LSU side of that conversation is it's not just a quick help and get out.
Yeah.
It's just, no, we're going to waste this player just standing there. Like, at least in the NFL, I have trust that they're not going to just have somebody airplane arming, scanning, looking for somebody to leak through.
Right.
Like, there will be intentionality behind the pass. Like you said, maybe on the way out, it will slow down the route. It does make it less effective, but on the way out, give a shoulder so Penny can play more to the inside, knowing that he's got a little outside help coming.
Sometimes it can just be by your body presence as well.
Yeah,
T. I mean, you know that. Like, some offensive linemen, they don't actually want you to touch the rusher.
Well, if you hit him too hard, you can throw
hit
him
him too
across
hard,
their face.
and then you get beat inside, which is like the biggest no-no out there. When I played with Jeremy Clary in San Diego, he didn't want me to actually chip the edge rusher. He wanted me to give body presence and then kind of avoid him last minute so he could get his hands on him. Now, Marcus McNeil, he's like, Hess, like, give him a rib shot. Like, he wanted you to, like, try to hurt the edge rusher. So everybody's a little bit different. You have to learn your teammates, know who it is, and that's on you as a running back or a tight end to kind of know in the situation which one likes which. I mean, it's not that hard. One guy likes this, the other guy likes that. So everybody's a little bit different, but you can help either way. Like, whatever it is, just help slow that rusher down until that player gets more confident. And for Trevor Penning, like, this is still new to him.
Yes.
I mean, he does not have a lot of action in the NFL preseason or regular season. No.
Or major college football.
Or major college football.
He played Northern Illinois. Like, this is a massive
We fell in love
up.
with him at the Senior Bowl, but that was 1 week of practice. So he's still got a long way to go, and you have to go out there, and he's going to be the left tackle. And look, I mean, unless they made a move to move Hurst out there, I don't think that's going to happen. He's going to be out there, and it's got to go up 3 notches if they want to get to where they want to, which is the playoffs.
So the offensive line definitely has to be better. We do have an update on Payton Turner. He is going to have surgery. That is confirmed. It's a similar injury to what Trevor Penning went through last year. Turf toe. I know what the obvious angle here is. I'm mad, and I understand that, but there's something to think about here. Trevor Penning came back in week 12. This is a Saints team that I think looks like they could be pretty damn good. For instance, how's this for a fun fact, boys? Saints just tied their franchise record. They've had 9 consecutive games holding the opponents under 20 points. Last time they did that was 1991 with the Dome Patrol. That's pretty damn good, right? So that combined with Derek Carr, the weapons, all these things, I think it's going to be a pretty good Saints team. So the point is, week 12, you could be in the midst of a playoff hunt, division hunt. Who knows what you're fighting for? So, like, Payton Turner, I know that people are going to be mad in the short term, and he's going to completely disappear from our minds. He can't afford to do the same. He has to do everything he can to try to stay ready because he may still have a role down the stretch of this season if the timeline ends up matching up with what Penning did.
Yeah, he could come back and block a kick.
Hey, he could. Yeah, I mean, maybe a big kick, too.
Yeah, he could.
Maybe another big one to beat the Falcons again, even.
Be great.
Double it up.
He could do it.
Bond got one in his honor.
He will have important football to play.
I just don't know. And this isn't me sitting there and hating on a young man that got hurt and continues to get hurt. It is what it is. Some players are like that. Some players can't stay healthy for whatever reason. I mean, there's a lot of different reasons. Maybe it's the way you train in the offseason. Maybe it's just bad luck. I don't know. But even when he's healthy, I'm not sure that I can get behind him coming in week 12 and doing anything for your football team, which is okay. It's just right now he's a first-round pick that has not worked out. He hasn't been on the field, and when he has, he's been okay.
Yeah.
And right now you have I'm more worried about Carl Granderson and what he can do, sack and a half in game number 1, because that's a player that's been out there, and he's been productive when he's been out there. And so I do
great.
I do understand like the first round pick, and you're kind of waiting on it. But look, first round picks don't work out sometimes, and the Saints have had a couple of misses in the edge rusher department. Marcus Davenport, Peyton Turner, and Isaiah Foskey wasn't active for this game.
So is Payton Turner and they are talking about, Dennis Allen did talk about Foskey needing to step up his absence. I guess I just never really think of Payton Turner as like a pure edge rusher. I always thought of him as more like a 3.
Okay, he's still a defensive end. I mean, he's going to play out. He's going to kick out some.
Yeah.
But so that's 2 first rounders and a second rounder right now that you haven't gotten a lot from. Now,
No.
Marcus Davenport, you got a season, maybe.
It's weird because you hit on Hendrickson and then you kind of hit on Carl Granderson.
Yeah.
It looks like. So
And
just stop spinning so much.
And sometimes that happens, but like a second round pick not being active for his first game and not helping at least on teams,
Not good, buddy.
it's not a good start to your NFL career. Not to say you can't fix it, but usually second round picks, even if you're a bad football player, active for the first game.
Well, and so that is the other thing. Foskey, step up now, okay? Because you will be active.
Yeah.
Make something happen. There it is. I feel good about the Saints team, though. Wow, just amazing black and gold takes right there, Jake.
I don't think I've ever heard any takes that are better than the 2 guys that just gave you that take.
And you can keep getting them by going ahead and liking, subscribing, ringing the bell to get notifications when we post. Have a great day. We'll see you on the next OTB Saints.